Welcome to Kess, Descended Mage. As far as our opening hand goes, yes, I like it. We'll keep on this one. We've got a couple different options to kind of get some fun stuff going on our side of the battlefield. I definitely like that Sword of Fire and Ice against Roshin. So, see what sort of creatures our opponent gets out on the battlefield. But yes, welcome to Kess. It has been a long time since we have done Kess, and I'll kind of give you a refresher on what this deck is about. I did make a few changes to it, and then I just now realized, not just now realized, but we haven't played... I haven't played the deck since they unbanned a lot of really good cards for 1 versus 1 commander. So let's go and lead off with the Temple of Epiphany. Get that scry going. The scurry, the fever, the insanity, faithless looting. Yeah, I think I like that. We're going to put that on top. I don't mind getting a little bit extra card draw. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Kess. Flying. During each of your turns, you may cast an instant or sorcery from your graveyard. If a card cast this way be put into your graveyard, exile it instead. Playing against Roshin. And they're going to be able to tap to add 4 colorless mana to their mana pool, and they can only spend this mana on spells that contain X in the casting cost. So we'll see what sort of build we're against. I know playing against Roshin, it gets kind of nutty sometimes. Hopefully we can keep her off the battlefield, him or her. I'm pretty sure it's a her. Looks like a her. We'll try to keep her off the battlefield and then go from there. Let's go for Faithless Looting. Yeah, because if we hit a blue source, I don't mind going for Ponder. Well, it helps if you tap for red. There we go. So we're going to go for Faithless Looting, draw 2 cards, and discard 2 cards. It's going to be Baby Jace. Is it Signet? So if we get rid of Zealous Conscripts, we're going to get rid of one of our combo pieces. And I definitely want to hold on to all 4 of our lands. And I like holding on to Talrain to kind of start building up some sort of board state. Let's get rid of Zealous Conscripts at this point right now. We'll discard that. And I guess we could get rid of Dragon Skull Summit. That would put us in a spot, because I kind of like it. I want to get down Signet too. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to get rid of Dragon Skull Summit. Let's lead off with a Drowned Catacomb. It's going to come into play tapped, and then anything else, kick it back over to our opponent. So we did cover both commanders. Let's give a quick little shout out to MTGOTraders before we jump into the video. They're the #1 sponsor for the channel. So if you're looking for some commander cards from Magic Online, be sure to hit them up. And also, check out inkedgaming.com. I have a coupon code JOLT that's going to give a discount on your order, and also kind of give me a little bit of a kickback to support the channel. So they make custom playmats and different things like that. And then let's say that you really enjoy a particular thumbnail of mine. I've started putting images that don't have text on it in the description box. That way if you use it as a desktop wallpaper on your home personal computer, it is there. So be sure to check those 2 out. Now it is free time. We can talk about whatever we want. Let's go to Get Down Mountain. And we draw to Vampiric Tutor. Yeah, I kind of like... I'm really tempted to hold on to... for Ponder and get down Talran. So let's go for Jays. Oh, damn, I meant to go for Signet first. Sorry about that. That's a bummer. All right, we'll get down Signet next turn. Anything else, then we'll go and pass it. I was kind of, in my head, I was getting done doing all the different, covering the different sponsors. So I meant to go for Signet, and then we're going to go for Jace, but I accidentally clicked on Jace first. So a little bit of a sequencing error on my part. Now, as far as Kess, this deck, it's been a long time since we've played it. In fact, once they initially banned a lot of the fast mana and the really good cards, stuff like cards like Vampiric Tutor, I haven't played Kess since then. Since it's been unbanned, somebody left a comment and said, hey, you should go play Kess sometime, especially with all the new cards that have unbanned. And so I kind of updated it for that. We have Brainstorm in here. We have Entomb, Vampiric Tutor. We've got Dig Through Time, which I'm really excited about because I love Dig Through Time. And if you don't remember what this deck is, this is the Splinter Twin combo for 1 versus 1 commander. Sorry, if you heard a motorcycle driving by, you're correct. It was really loud. I was like, okay. All right, they're going to swing in. They're going to get their lands untapped. They only have 3 cards in their hand at this point right now. So hopefully, actually, yeah, they didn't cast anything. So we were able to survive that. Drawn to Dreadbore. Yeah, that's going to be a good thing for us to go for. So if we get down Signet, I think either way, yeah, if we go for Signet, we're gonna miss out on the black mana because we're gonna tap down Signet to go for Dreadbore. I definitely want to take care of our opponent's commander, so let's go for that at this point right now. And then we're hoping should have got down Signet earlier, so we'll probably end up going for Ponder to try to hit our land drop for the turn. Let's go for Ponder. Okay, I like these cards, but this is definitely, like I said, we want to hit some land drops. So let's go put these on top in any order. We're going to shuffle our library, draw a card. There we go, drawn to Blood Crypt. Let's go for a Jace activation, draw a card, then discard a card. Then we draw into Island. And I guess at this point, I like Vampiric Tutor a little bit more. Let's go and get rid of Sword of Fire and Ice. Okay, let's get down Blood Crypt. Look how quick we've got Jace online. Do we want to go for Faithless Looting too? Yeah, we're going to shock that in. Yeah, because either way they're going to be swinging in at Jace. So we're going to go ahead and go for the -3 and go for Faithless Looting. And at this point right now, we're just kind of digging for one more combo piece to help us hopefully combo out. And I'll explain, if you don't know what the Splinter Twin combo is, I'll explain that here in just a second once we get our turn done. So let's go for Faithless Looting. We're going to draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. And it also puts us in a position where we can go for Kess next turn and really kind of start casting stuff out of our graveyard. And that's what makes Kess so much fun, is that, you know, we can use her in some sort of tutor element out of the graveyard, but at the same time, you know, simply just being able to cast a Ponder back out of the graveyard, going for Dreadbore back out of the graveyard, it's always really nice. Let's get rid of Secrets of the Dead. I mean, that would be nice to get down to cash in some card draw. But I really want to start ramping. Yeah, we'll get rid of Secrets of the Dead. I'm actually going to go and dump Vampiric Tutor into the graveyard because we can actually get that down with Kess. So I'm okay with that. Then anything else, kick it back over to our opponent. But yeah, so basically the core of this deck is a Grixis Control Shell. So we do have kind of an alternative plan B, and that is going to be Talrand style creatures. So we get down something like Talrand, Young Pyromancer, we start casting our Vampiric Tutors, we cast our Ponders, and end up with a whole nice board of tokens. That's going to allow us to hopefully just kind of stabilize to buy enough time. And then we're going to be going for the Splinter Twin combo. If you don't know about the Splinter Twin combo, we have cards like Deceiver Exarch, and we get that on the battlefield. We're going to be able to put Splinter Twin on it, and basically just it creates some sort of loop to where we can you know, if we want to get 1,000,000 creatures on the battlefield, we can. And so we just keep making copies of a Deceiver Exarch and we swing in for lethal. Now, we do have a couple different ways to go infinite with Splinter Twin. Another card is going to be Zealous Conscripts. We also have Kiki Jiki. Mainly, we're just looking for a creature that enters the battlefield and untaps, and we're going to be able to swing in. So that's kind of one of the ways that we can, you know, build up a nice little board state of tokens and at the same time kind of threaten a closer win condition with the Splinter Twin combo. And plus, I love getting tokens going. You know, it's always fun building, you know, token decks, stuff like Talrand and Young Pyromancer. They've become some of my favorite decks recently to play. And that's one of the fun things about my channel that I've grown to like is, you know, I'm making a ton of Commander decks, but it's fun to kind of, you know, if you think about the Young Pyromancer Talrand shell, that, you know, fits into a lot of different decks. You know, you can build a Grixis deck, black-blue deck, a mono-blue deck. It's just kind of fun getting some extra value off of the creatures that you do get down. Okay, our opponent does swing in with Roshin and takes care of Jay. So next turn we are, I think, yeah, we can actually still get down Signet and go for Kess. So that'll be something that we can... Ooh, there we go. When he missed out on a Hungering Hydra. Enters the battlefield with X. Okay. Opponent went for Wheel of Fortune, which is not too bad. We do have a couple counterspells in here, so unfortunately we don't hit any. So I'm hoping we can draw into a counterspell soon to stop any sort of big payoff spell that our opponent might have. Let's get down Actually, we'll go for Flooded Strand. You know, if that's the case, if we're hoping, you know, our opponent did wheel in, instead of going for Kess, I think we might end up going for simply just getting down a fetch land and then just passing the turn, because we do have a couple different counter spells at the 2 and 3 drop. So what we can do is hopefully impulse into a counter spell, because I just want to take one turn off to see if they happen to wheel into some sort of big X spell, and that way we can make sure that doesn't end the game for us. Now, they do have a pretty good creature damage board. We're looking at 8 damage being able to swing across. So after this turn, we'll see what we dig into with impulse, and then get our game plan going from there. And in fact, Wheel of Fortune works out really well with Kess, because it allows us to, you know, just turn our entire graveyard online. That's one of the fun things about this deck, is it's almost kind of like a Reanimator deck, to where your graveyard becomes your second hand. And you can see we've got, you know, 12 cards in our quote-unquote hand, and that's what makes Kess so much fun. So, and it really enables a ton of different strategies that you may want to go for. Now let's see what our opponent's going to go for. Lightning Greaves K. They're going to get Lightning Greaves onto Oracle. That's going to be 5, and that will actually be 10, putting us down to all the way down to 12. Now, another one of the cards that we do have that can combo with Splinter Twin is going to be Captain of the Mist. So whenever another human, untap it, and basically we can just make a ton of hasty humans to go for lethal damage. But let's see, our opponent will be swinging across, so we're going to go and crack Flooded Strand. And we'll grab Underground Sea, that way we don't have to take any damage. Let's go for Impulse. It's going to be Young Pyromancer, Kolagon's Command, Mana Confluence. Okay, I like Young Pyromancer, but unfortunately we don't really have any sort of way to really take advantage of it. We've got Kolagon's Command, we can take care of Lightning Greaves, but that 2 damage is going to really not do much on this entire board state. So at this point, we'll just go and grab Young Pyromancer. Yeah, put those on the bottom in any order, and then we're going to let this damage go through. Now, next turn, we end up going for Kess. We can get that down. Yeah, it's not looking good. If we can get down Young Pyromancer and draw into some sort of instant or sorcery, draw into Pestermite. Okay, well, at least can go for a little bit of a tempo play with that. We'll get down Volcanic Island. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we go for Young Pyromancer. Yeah, let's get down Young Pyromancer. And then we can flash in Pestermite to block on one of these creatures, and maybe we can just snatch Oracle with Pestermite coming off the side. Now, also this deck is, so with Splinter Twin, it was legal in Modern when I was playing Modern, and I always hated Splinter Twin because it was the #1 deck out there. And so that was when I first got into Modern, so I didn't really understand, like, I just always viewed it as, oh, you're a spike if you play Splinter Twin, but now that I've gotten, ooh, Orcish Settlers. They can put haste on that. That's not good. Okay, so what we can do is they go for Orcish Settlers, and this is going to buy us just a little bit of time. We can flash in Pestermite in response to Lightning Greaves equip. Yeah, let's go and flash in Pestermite, and that way we just go ahead and tap it down. And maybe we get lucky and draw into Splinter Twin, but we're going to go for Pestermite. We're going to tap down Orcish Settlers. And this is what makes Commander fun, is that we're having to tap certain creatures. So let's go and tap down Orcish. Yes, we definitely want to. Yes, we want to tap that ability, tap that creature, so that we'll be able to put Lightning Greaves on it. But they're not going to be able to go for that activation of destroying our land. So that's going to at least buy us an additional turn, and then we'll keep our fingers crossed for just ripping into Splinter Twin. Maybe we get lucky. Even Kiki Jiki would definitely keep us online. But yeah, back to Modern. So whenever it was legal in Modern, Spikes, to me, back then, Spikes only played that deck. And so I, we get hit with a Clan Defiance for 11. All right. Good game to our opponent. That was, did not see that one coming, but I'll finish my story. But yeah, so long story short, by the time I grew up in my Magic playing or whatever, I realized that I grew to appreciate the Splinter Twin combo and how fun that deck was, but I never got a chance to pilot it because it got banned, so that's why I built Kess Twin. But anyway, so they're going to take it. We get hit by a Clan Defiance. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Slimefoot, the Stowaway. As far as opening hand goes, we have 1 land in our hand, and that does not sound that enticing, so let's go and mulligan. Other than that, I kind of like what we had. Oh, Dark Confidant. Do you want to risk a 1-lander? And then we're on the play, too. No, we can't do that. As bad as I want to, we can't do that. Yes, we'll make that work. Yeah, we can make that work. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. This is beautiful. Oh, yeah, put that on top. All right, mulligan down to 5, and we have all the mana in the world. I am thrilled. Let's go and get down Ancient Tomb. Let's go and get down Felwar Stone. So it's going to be a little bit hot and heavy on our life total this game, so hopefully it's nothing too bad. Let's go and tap down. It's like Affinity in Modern. Actually, excuse me. Our opponent has to have a land for us to take advantage of that. Let's go and pass the turn to our opponent. It's a little early in the morning. We're playing Slimefoot, the Stowaway. I got really excited. Slimefoot, the Stowaway. Whenever a sapling you control dies, Slimefoot deals 1 oh, and also it's a Good Morning Vietnam video, so if you're keeping score at home, whenever a sapling you control dies, Slimefoot deals 1 damage to each opponent, and you gain 1 life. Then for a 4-mana activation, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token. And it is sapling, but that R does not roll off my tongue, and so I will not be calling it that. I always call it sapling because it just sounds a little bit better. Let's go and get down the forest for the turn. Let's go and get down. I guess we can't go for Night's Whisper at this point right now because there's only 1 green source. Let's go and get down Skull Clamp. Not really thinking there's going to be some sort of hand disruption, but just in case there is, I'd much rather get down Mana Crypt, and let's go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing against Vati. Let's go with Vati. That's going to work, and that may be wrong, so if I am wrong, let me know in the comments. But for the remainder of the video, it's going to be Vati. Playing against Vati until end of turn, target creature has base power 1 or base power toughness, or base toughness 1. And I've played against this deck before, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun interactions to where you can give your creatures, or at least give us -1/-1, or something like that to take advantage of that. Let's go and choose tails on this one. Won the flip. We are 1 for 1 in our Mana Crypt triggers, and we draw into Tainted Dryad. Yeah, we can still get it down. Actually, we're online for Night's Whisper. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 total mana, and we don't have the land drop to make. Do you want to go for Night's Whisper off this Fellwar Stone? Yeah, let's try that. Let's go for Night's Whisper just to see what we can kind of draw into. Maybe we can hit the land drop. All right, there we go. Let's go and get down 4. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Let's go and get down Tainted Dryad. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Get down 10 to shoot. That's going to put us down to 24, and then anything else will go and pass the turn to our opponent. So hopefully we can take advantage of our creatures before our opponent gets those activations going. That can be, depending on what sort of action they get, it can be pretty nutty. But thankfully we have 10 to shoot Dryad on the battlefield. We do have Skull Clamp too, so we can start Skull Clamping onto the sapling tokens, and we'll be in a really good spot to go from there. If you haven't seen this deck before, what are we doing? This is definitely 100% green-black Aristocrats. Oh no. We'll see if they target, but more than likely it's going to be Skull Clamp. Yep, it's going to be Skull Clamp. But this is Green-Black Aristocrats. We're looking to get down a sack outlet, something like Bloodthorn Vampire, Blood Artist, Zulaport Cutthroat, Poison Tip Archer. Get those on the battlefield. Then use, also Slimefoot too. So it's always fun to close the game out that way. We have one particular win condition that's Infect, and I'll explain that in a second. Let's go and choose Tails on this one. We won the flip. I think we're 2 for 2 on our Mana Crypt triggers. Not entirely sure. Let's go ahead and get down Slimefoot. We've got a lot of saplings going, so let's go ahead and get down Slimefoot. Man, that'd have been so nice to get the to get that Skull Clamp going. That worked out really nice. It's gonna be 1, 2. Get down Slimefoot, and that'll still leave us with 1. We have to tap down an Ancient Tomb to take advantage. Yeah, we'll go and make a sapling token. Why not? Use that last floating mana, and that'll be 1, 2, and we'll take 2 damage. We can still, if something happens to the board, we'll still get those. We do have the City's Blessing now, which is really nice too. Let's go and get down Overgrown Tomb. Not going to pay 2 live. And then let's go and swing across with some of these sapling tokens. We're looking at some 3/3s. Do you want to trade? Because both of these have Summoning Sickness, if I'm correct. Or I think one of them doesn't. Actually, we'll just go ahead and pass the turn at this point right now. I want to hold up the sapling tokens. One of the things that we can do in this deck that's a lot of fun is we have Tainted Strike. Normally, I'm not a huge fan of Infect, but with Tainted Strike, we can give Tainted Strike, cast it on Slimefoot, and that's going to give Slimefoot Infect. And it says whenever it deals damage to an opponent, it deals Infect instead of regular damage. And with the way they worded Slimefoot, it says whenever a sapling you control dies, it deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life. So you can actually one-shot the board with 10 saplings on the battlefield by going for Tainted Strike. So that's something that, another win condition we can go for the deck. And to be perfectly honest, if you think about it, if you're doing Slimefoot, kind of like the Spore Cloud or something like that, if you hit a big mushroom and a spore cloud flies out, I would assume that it would be some sort of infectious spore cloud. So opponent's going to go for Razaketh's Right. Let's go and let them resolve that, and then we'll kind of pick it up from there. Okay, so they're done with Razaketh's Right. They're going to be tapping down for 1 green. Let's see what they ended up searching off of that. Lot Troll. Okay. Very interesting build from our opponent. And it's really nice having the Golgari matchup. It always makes for, I don't know, I like that extra special touch to it. But we've got some pretty good stuff going. We got the saplings going, we got the City's Blessing, and apparently our opponent does not have any sort of spot removal to take care of Tainted Dryad, because we are just getting sapling tokens left and right. Let's go choose Tails on this one. On the flip, we are oh so lucky on this Mana Crypt trigger. Ooh, and we draw the Doubling Season. Yeah. Let's go ahead and get down Doubling Season. It's going to be, we might be able to get an Aristocrats win on this one. It's going to be 1, 2. I'm going to tap down 1 more. Yeah, we still go and get down Bloodthorn Vampire, because that'll actually be our sack outlet finally. Yeah. Let's go and get down Doubling Season. Let's go and go for Bloodthorn Vampire. And at this point right now, we're not going to be swinging in. There's Death Touch. There's the activation from our opponent's commander. And so at this point, we're simply just going to hold back now that we do have a sack outlet, and then just go to town. Now, one of the ways that we can really kind of amplify this win is if we do draw into Zulaport Cutthroat or Blood Artist. that will allow us to kind of go for that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we do draw into Blood Artist, because let's say that our opponent does draw into some sort of board wipe and they blow up the entire board. Zulaport only triggers for creatures that you control. So if we sacrifice our 7 sampling tokens, it's going to be 7 Zulaport triggers. If we have Blood Artist on the battlefield and then they cast a something like Damnation, that's going to count for all the creatures, so we get a ton of extra triggers off of that. So that's one thing to kind of keep in mind if you've never built Aristocrats. All creatures get -1/-1. Okay, do we want to sack some of these creatures out right now? They can pop Tindershoot Dryad. I guess technically what we can do is, in response to, we're going to lose Bloodthroat Vampire either way, so we're going to lose that sack outlet. That's going to be basically just 1 damage and us gaining 1 life. That is very interesting if we want to do anything. You know what, I guess at this point right now, instead of, with them getting down Knights of Soul Betrayal, it's going to make it a little bit hard for us to kind of get anything done. So what we're going to do at this point right now is simply just kind of hold back on this one, and then probably start swinging it with some of these sampling tokens now that they're having to go for those activations. Oh, look at that. All right, always yield to that. And excuse me, I forgot that they get +2/+2 from Tindershoot Dryad. It's not simply just a City's Blessing thing. So that will kind of give us a little bit of an added bonus from that, putting us back up to 27 and them down to 17. But yeah, once they did take care of Tindershoot, that was kind of it. But you can see how potent our opponent's deck is, simply getting down something like Knights of Soul Betrayal against a deck like this. You know, we had everything ready to go, Mana Crypt, Doubling Season, but when you get down Knights of Soul Betrayal, it makes it a little bit hard for you to get some stuff done. We got Scavenging Ooze swinging across for 1. All right, let's see what we draw into. It's going to choose Tails on this one. 1 the flip. Oh, so lucky. And then Heartstone. We will go ahead and get that down. That will give us a few more activations that we can simply just kind of like blind fire. They're not going to stick around on the battlefield, but we'll at least still kind of getting double activations. The only downside is basically they're going to be able to go for the activation off their commander on Slimefoot. So we'll at least be able to make, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll at least be able to make 2 more sampling tokens with Doubling Season. Kind of negate some of that Ancient Tomb mana, or simply to actually just tap down on Overgrown Tomb Forest and Failwar Stone, and then kind of go from there. That puts us in a position where basically we need to find some sort of protection for Slimefoot, so we're looking at Lightning Greaves or Swiftfoot Boots. So let's go and go for an activation in response to that. And it's going to be 2 Slimefoot triggers, and that will take care of Slimefoot, sending it back to the command zone. Now we can recast it. That's going to be 5 mana, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's still going to be really, ooh, and our opponent's going to get down Conjurer's Closet, bouncing Acidic Slime. So actually, if they want to, they can, I mean, we still have a little bit of extra mana. We'll Failwar Stone, but if they want to go for the Acidic Slime on Overgrown Tomb, that would definitely make it a little bit hard for us to kind of get anything done. But we'll see how they want to go for that Conjurer's Closet trigger. There's a ton of options they could go for, even something like Doubling Season. Okay, they do end up taking care of Doubling Season. I was going to choose Tails on this one. Man, I wish we'd kept track. I think we're like 4 for 5 on this Mana Crypt. We draw into Vraska. Well, that's an answer. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or land. Now we need to do something. Okay. So Knights of Soul Betrayal, that's an answer to that. We're looking at a bunch of 1/1s and 2/2s. We can still survive until next turn when we get those assassin tokens going. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Maybe we can... Yeah, because that's one of the things about Knights of Soul Betrayal. It really kind of slows your clock down. Yeah, let's try this. We're going to tap on Failwar Stone too. Let's go ahead and plus up on Vraska, because we're only looking at about 4 toughness from our opponent's side of the board. And that way, if they do swing in at Vraska, since we did go for that +1 ability. Oh, can you imagine if we had Doubling Season out there? I know it complicates it with Knights of Soul Betrayal, but if we had Doubling Season out there, whenever we get down Vraska, it enters the battlefield with her ultimate ready, and we get those, we get 6 1/1 Black Assassin creature tokens on the battlefield, which is... pretty nice. All right, so our opponent's going to go for a Transmute off of a Dimir Houseguard. So it's going to be 4 mana. Let's see what they can search up on that one. All right, Gurk Wildspeaker was the search off of the Transmute off of Dimir Houseguard. And while we're talking about Transmute, it's such a nice ability in Commander. It's just really, you know, you do have to have certain deck building requirements to make sure you can take advantage of it. But it's just really a nice, unique, it's a perfect tutor for Commander. I'm always, I don't really run a ton of Transmute stuff, but it works out really well. All right, opponent's going to go for Gurk Wildspeaker, and then I think they haven't activated it yet. And they are swinging at Vraska, so thankfully that it will at least take care of some of those creatures, allowing us to keep Vraska on the battlefield before they can take advantage of that acidic slime, enter the battlefield trigger. And like I said, we're only sitting at 25, so if we get lucky, oh, excuse me, Recurring Nightmare. I forgot about that. I think that's what it was. Yeah, Recurring Nightmare. Okay, so it's going to bring the Beast and then Acidic Slime back on the battlefield. See what they end up searching off of that. What they choose to target. They're going to take care of Acidic Slime. All right. And then Forest. Yeah, I guess at this point right now, we need to, because it's going to be a Beast token. We'll go and get the Forest down. So if we end up going for the -3, destroy target permanent, that's going to be Acidic Slime. That's going to get rid of that activated ability. Then that's going to be their commander swinging across. We don't have an answer for Knights of Soul Betrayal. If we plus up to 6, that's still going to put it in the spots where they have to recast a Recurring Nightmare. But we definitely need to take care of Acidic Slime. Yeah, let's go for the -3 on Acidic Slime. Yeah, we just need to do that. We need to take care of it. So let's go for the -3 on Acidic Slime, and then let's go and pass the turn to our opponent. Hopefully we get lucky and draw into something. The Acidic Slime's in the graveyard now, so we don't really necessarily have to worry about that. Coming and destroying a lot of our stuff, and we'll let them get this Mana Crypt trigger going. Alright, so we got the Beast token swinging across for 2. That will take care of Vraska. And basically, we need some sort of exile effect to really take advantage of Acidic Slime. And so, thankfully our opponent, they ended up choosing their Mana Crypt trigger on that one as a little bit of a kind of like a nice gesture, and I really do appreciate that. But I think our opponent's pretty much going to get it on this one. It's going to be hard for us to do anything about this. They can end up going for, yeah, Overgrown Tomb. That will take care of it. And then let's see what's going on. Draw into Damnation, unfortunately with no black mana. Man, it's just a losing battle fighting against this Acidic Slime and Recurring Nightmare. Trying to think of a way that we can do this, but it's just with we just have to get really, really lucky, and then even then we have to draw another black source. So we're going to go on and good game this one. Good game to our opponent. That's always nice. You can definitely see how it's fun to kind of play some of these old school commanders, or something as unique as target creature gets -1/-1, or it becomes base power 1/1, and then using something like Knights of Soul Betrayer can really take advantage of that. So anyway, good game to our opponent. We could have stuck this one out just a little bit longer if I wanted to, but my time is limited. I need to kind of keep recording, and it's just going to be really hard at this point in the venture to beat this Recurring Nightmare and Acidic Slime on a lot of our stuff. So anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Aminatou. As far as opening hand goes, yes, we'll keep on this one. I like it. Not the best opening hand, but we have a board wipe and a little bit of flesh bag. We can hopefully keep something like Lano War Elves under check early game, and then that'll allow us to get down Aminatou and get some really fun stuff going. Let's go and lead off with a Creeping Tar Pit. There we go. Lead off with Creeping Tar Pit, and then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Aminatou, and I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. I looked it up probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago on YouTube, and that's what's sticking out in my head, so that's what it's going to be for the rest of the video. +1, draw a card, then put a card from your hand on top of your library, then for a -1, exile another target permanent you control, then return to the battlefield under your control. Then for a -6, choose left or right. Each opponent gains control of all non-land permanents other than Aminatou controlled by the next player in the chosen direction. Okay, so let's lead off with actually, yeah, I'm just going to lead off with Hallowed Fountain. Yeah, nothing for 2. It's going to come into play tapped. And then we'll go and pass turn to our opponent. Playing against Karametra, God of Harvest Moon. Indestructible Devotion 7 turns into a creature. Then, whenever you cast a creature spell, you may search your library for a forest or plains card, put it on the library tapped, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your. I mean, I guess technically you could put it on your library, but for it to count, you need to put it on the battlefield and then shuffle your library. So, cover both commanders. It is free time. We can talk about whatever we want. That's going to be Aminatou. Now, as far as this deck goes, this is a kind of like a Blink Esper. I mean, I'm trying to think how to describe it because it's not necessarily. Well, it is a Blink deck. There's a heavy focus on bouncing our creatures to get some sort of effect. And I think at this point, I really like going for Fleshbag. Let's take care of Avacyn's Pilgrim. One of the big things against Karametra that you want to stop is simply just getting rid of their ramp. Once they get to Karametra, start casting creatures, then they can just get a ton of stuff going. So at this point right now, we want to make sure that we can kind of keep their mana in check, and then at the same time, that'll allow us to maybe get down Aminatou and really start getting some good value plays. You know, we'll figure out exactly what we're going to grab with Trinket Mage. We've got stuff like Skull Clamp, Soul Ring, and then Mana Crypt. Those are going to be kind of our heavy hitters to grab off of Trinket Mage. So once we kind of get those down, that'll allow us to kind of pump in a little bit of extra mana, and we can kind of get our game plan going from there. But we do have some fun stuff in here that really take advantage of the blue. Ooh, Cathar's Crusade. I like it. Do we want to go for Trinket Mage on Mana Crypt? We get that down, then we go for Cathar's Crusade the following turn. I think if we're going to race our opponent with Karametra, we need to be as aggressive as possible, so let's go for that. Let's get down Trinket Mage, we'll get down Mana Crypt, and then next turn that'll allow us to go for Aminatou, or simply just get down Cathar's Crusade, and then once we get down some sort of token effect, that'll really kind of allow us to start building up a really nice board state. So yes, we're definitely going to use that ability. Let's get that popped out, and I guess just to be a little bit safer, let's go for Soul Ring. That way we're just not taking any damage. Let's go and crack Windswept Heath. We do have a black source in the hand, so let's go and grab a... We do have some pretty heavy blue stuff in here, so let's go and grab Tundra. I think that's pretty good. We'll grab Tundra, get down Soul Ring, and then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. So we did cover both commanders. It is free time. We can just hang out, chat, do whatever we want. But yeah, as far as the deck goes, you know, we have fun stuff in here. We have stuff like Blade Splicer, Recruiter of the Guard. So we have this kind of this sub-theme of really good utility creatures that enter the battlefield. As you can tell, Trinket Mage, Recruiter of the Guard is going to be a tutor source for the deck. Omen Speaker is going to allow us to kind of look at the top 3 part of our library. We have Spell Seeker, which is going to be a instant tutor card for the deck. And so you have this really nice subset of creatures entering the battlefield. You know, even with Fleshbag Marauder, you know, let's say that we sacrifice one of our tokens, we can keep bouncing Fleshbag to, ooh, there we go. Reflector Mage, this is exactly what we want to see. So what's the best use of our mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to be 7, shock that in 4. Yeah, we can actually still get down Thrain Dino and go for Aminatou. Yeah, let's do that. So let's go and shock in, maybe we didn't have to do that, but it's kind of hard to anticipate the mana in your head really quick. 1, 2, that'll allow us to get down Thrain Dynamo, and then we can still go for, yeah, we want to go for Aminatou, because at this point right now, black, blue, and then white. Let's go and swing it with Trinket Mage first. Swing it for 2. Every point of damage matters in this one. Swing it for 2, let's go and put them down to 28. And then we'll go and grab Skull Clamp. I think that'd be a good thing to go for. So let's go for, oh, dang it. We'll put Vault back on top. I meant to go for the -1, but that's okay. That'll give us a few more active. In fact, if we want to, we can just kind of start plussing up on Aminatou while she's out there. And that way we can kind of bank up some -1s, start bouncing a bunch of stuff back to the hand. Excuse me, back onto the battlefield. But yeah, like I mentioned, we have a really nice bunch of utility creatures for the deck. And then one thing that we can do is kind of just swarm the board with tokens. That's kind of the game plan. We have Blade Splicer in here. We have Divine Visitation. We have Geist Honored Monk. We have Knight, Knight Captain, Visionary Augmenter. So we have a couple different Fabricate options in here. And that's pretty much one of the fun ways that we can really get a ton of stuff going with this deck. And if we can get some of those token enablers, you can see with Cathar's Crusade how good it is. Let's get down Cathar's Crusade. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. Now, we can go for Vault and dig into our library, put something on top, and then draw into it with Aminatou. Yeah, let's go for that, because there might be something that we want to get down. Yeah, let's do that. And we're going to be aggressive with this Vault, because we just need to find some sort of token enabler. Angel of Invention, Fabricate, enters the battlefield. Yep, I think that's a pretty, and that's actually a really good spread. Snapcaster, yeah, I like this. We're not going to pay life. Is there any certain way we need to sequence this? Because we want to, we've got more than enough mana at this point. So let's go and put the lands on top first. Let's go for Merciless Eviction. Let's go for Snapcaster. And let's go for Angel of Invention. Yeah, and at this point, let's just go and plus up on Aminatou. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll draw into another card. We'll put Toxic Deluge back on top. That way we have Angel of Invention and Reflector Mage in our hand, because our opponent doesn't really have any sort of pressure, so we can just basically bank up a lot of these Angel of Inventions bounces. That way we can get some really good tokens going and end up with some really nice Cathar's Crusade. I think, you know, once we go for 3 or 4 bounces with Aminatou, then that should allow us to end up with a pretty sizable board state. Now, it does put them on some sort of spot removal. They do have 5 cards in the hand, and they have not really gotten down any sort of creatures on the battlefield. So at this point right now, we definitely need to watch out for Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares, but yeah, we're going to go for it. We'll still get the Angel of Invention, Fabricate, and they'll still put us on for Cathar's Crusade. So I like that. And then whatever sort of big creature they get down, we still have Reflector Mage to bounce it back to the hand, at least kind of keep it off the battlefield for a really good minute with the Reflector Mage. And I don't know, Reflector Mage art, I cannot remember his name, but that guy that makes that funny face. I know that's like 100 million people out there, but he was like in a bunch of memes that always reminds me of him. So, like the spicy guy or something. I don't know my meme names, but it just makes me laugh. All right, so opponent's going to return Thawing Glaciers back to their hand. And yeah, while they're tapped out, let's go for the Angel of Invention. I really like this line of play. It's going to be 1-2, and then 1-2-3 off of 3 and Dynamo. So we're going to go for the Fabricate 2, 100%. That way we can get those Crusades going. And let's put the Crusade trigger on the stack first. That way we can go for the Fabricate. And we want those servos. Oh, and servos. Yeah, I'll kind of talk about servos here in a second. In fact, I'll pop the video up here on the channel. Hopefully I can remember on this video, but I got an Arduino for Christmas, and that is a like a little mini computer. You can program programs for it, and they have little servos, and servos are like little motors that do things. And so I made a self-tapping island servo. And so that's so how I spent my weekend. It's pretty cool, actually. It's going to always yield to this Cathar's Crusade. And yeah, I guess we still just go ahead and go for the -1. Yeah, might as well. Yeah, let's go for the -1 on Angel of Invention. That'll end up with some really nice servos. These are some Chevy built tough servos right here. So we're going to exile Angel of Invention again, and we'll end up with, oh, look at that. Get the Cathar's Crusade trigger. Yes. Yes. Okay, there we go. I always get worried I'm going to do that wrong, and that would not be fun. We're going to do some more servos. We're going to do the servos. There we go. Get a couple more counters on the. Oh, look at that. 8/8s and some 5/5s. If we had haste, we'd be in heaven right now. Anything else? No. We're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. So at this point right now, we've got 16. We've got 26. We've got at least 31 points of damage on our side of the battlefield. So they're going to have some sort of answer for next turn. Angel of Invention is perfect for something like Cathar's Crusade. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. Yep, and our opponent's going to scoop it up on this one. So our opponent didn't really get a lot of good stuff going. So at this point right now, the only thing I could think of is if they just basically maybe they had spot removal, they could get rid of Angel of Invention. But at this point right now, I'm still going to go and post this video up, even though we didn't really see that good of a showing from Karametra, because I want to show off the interaction between Aminatou and something like Angel of Invention and Cathar's Crusade. You know, they get those into the battlefields, you get those servos going, you can have an instant board state in no time. And even if our opponent did get down some sort of creatures, with our opponents being able to buff up really high from Cathar's Crusade, you know, they're going to be 5/5s, the next creatures are going to be 8/8, 10/10s, whatever. Even go for something like Toxic Deluge is still going to allow our creatures to stick around on the battlefield and go from there. And plus, Angel of Invention, it gives all of our other creatures +1/+1, so it's always nice. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.